the question for today: how would you convince a teenager to go to school when graduates are unemployed and broke, but Yahoo boys and Sakawa boys are rich?
Yahoo boys and Sakawa boys.
So it's been a dilemma, okay, and I personally have thought of this before. How someone can seemingly cut corners and then make it big, but then you go to school, you work hard, and then it's even still a chance, 50-50. For some, maybe 60-40 or less. The odds are against them. Whether you can still finish with school and then get a good job, get rich. So what do you guys think?
I think it's an anomaly because the system didn't plan for this, but due to circumstances, it almost seems impossible to really like make something great out of like education and just get rich from like what you've gained from school. Because first of all, in Ghana, employment is very difficult, and the educational system, I don't find it so helpful to get people to like have that mentality, like a wealthy mentality, how to make money. It actually gets you to study for something and just put it out there for like great sake. You understand? Convincing a young person to take education serious, whereby, like you said, Yahoo Sakawa is going on, like it wouldn't come so easy because there are certain young ones who are growing up in societies where even their big brothers are billionaires, like out of like activities like that, where they also have other big brothers who have gone to school, they even have masters, but they are home unemployed. You understand? Yes. So it becomes difficult because they want to see like the immediate outcome of your hustle. You understand? Because education is a hustle. What they are doing, although it's like illegal, it's also a hassle because they have to go through a lot of things. But I think with education, it goes a long way with you. And the fraudulent activities, like it brings you money, it's good. But there have been certain situations where people get arrested, people go through a lot of stuff. I personally know someone who used to have a lot of money. They went to some place to do some stuff, to get money. They were 3. He went mad. You understand? So this guy, obviously, you can't use him as an example. You understand? But if, for instance, someone had gone through the same situation and didn't go mad and had education, they could still persist, with that and hopefully get something out of it. Like, whatever happens, something will come up. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, I think I agree with Josh, with everything being a hassle, both the fraud and the education too. But then everything has its own ups and downs. Even now, you can see that most of these fraud boys, they're still going back to school. They're trying to make the best thing out of whatever that they are learning. At least with the school, when you're done, finding jobs is a bit hard. But the education is something no one can take away from you. The reason why sometimes the graduates and the brokers and everything comes, everybody wants a 9-to-5 job. But even with the fraud too, everybody wants quick money. So for me, I just feel like it will be hard to convince them that go back to school when they are seeing providing banks and everything. But then if they also understand that both of them have their ups and downs, I think they'll choose which ups and which downs that they want to. They'll choose which hard they want to go with. They choose which hustle they want to. I think we should give them the options. Like they should know what is going on. If we're able to give them like both stores, like both sides, okay, fine. With the fraud, you get money, you get this. But some people turn out like this, some people do this, some people do this. With the school, you get education, but sometimes it's hard to get job. But if you do this one, you get this. I think if you put everything before them and kind of give them the option, not like impose them, like don't go and do fraud, go to school. I think that's what makes it hard. If we don't understand why they want to not go to school, and also not make them understand why we want them to go to school, then I feel like that's what is going to be the push and pull with all this fraud and school thing.
And also, youthful exuberance can be like so deep that it doesn't sometimes know patience. You know, because even the songs we are hearing these days, like America, you understand? Like they are showing you stuff, and someone is trying to go to school, get a degree, and you know you have to come and
Nonsense.
you understand. These days you have to even pay money before you get a job. Like it becomes very like many. Like you can't really having patience. Like hope is pain. You understand? Because you're not seeing it, but you're hoping it comes out. That's why I said it's an anomaly, because the system didn't really plan for this. But that's what we are having to live with. You understand? So yeah, seeing their mates driving nice cars, and even like she said, people when they do for like they go back to school, get a degree. You know, I actually know someone who was doing fraud. You understand? And when he got a lot of money, he invested in a lot of businesses. He went to register for ICA. He had some friends at the banking sector. He got a job. He came out of it. You understand? So sometimes it's also a choice.
Okay, so first and foremost,
Yeah.
we have to understand that education is not necessarily about gaining money. Education is to enlighten you. When you have a conversation with somebody who graduated JHS and didn't go again, with somebody who graduated SHS, with somebody who graduated Poly, with somebody who graduated uni, on the same topic, a social topic, maybe politics or something, you realize that the enlightenment is different. And when I come back from school, my daddy told me one thing. He said, I took you to school to make classmates. So ideally, he doesn't expect me to go and talk to somebody who knows somebody to get a job. He expects that since you went to Central, and you had colleagues and course-mates who parents were well endowed and know people, so at least you should. So first and foremost, we go to school to enlighten ourselves. We go to school to make classmates. Most of my colleagues, so I have a friend, after school and everything, I don't know what he decided to do with his pharmacy degree, but then he's now a mechanic. I don't know. He sprays cars, like you want to change
like a professional mechanical.
You said?
A professional mechanical.
Yes, like he sprays these cars and all that, but that is not what he learned in school. But then he has classmates, so all my mates who have cars, they go to him when they want to change their car color, when they want to discuss something intensive, washing, change the seats and all that. Everybody goes to him. I have a colleague, no, my friend brought, so my brother did telecom engineering, and he brought home a colleague who also read telecom engineering. But now this lady sells organic products, so turmeric and all those kind of things. And funny enough, consciously or unconsciously, when people come to my facility for those kind of products, because I don't have it, I'll be like, okay, I know where you can get some. I'll call her and she does the delivery. So we have to understand that we don't go to school to get a job. It's to enlighten you, for you to use your knowledge. It's for you to think critically. But then if you are not able to do all those things and you think it's automatic, once I come out from school after service, they are supposed to retain me, or I'm supposed to get a job. Then I saw one post on Twitter or Facebook. He said, graduate today, you buy Corolla. After school, you have to get Corolla, get some 4-bedroom apartment, marry, chill. It's not automatic.
With 559.
But you know,
No, it's like
559 not with your money.
I'm not just like trying to carry you off, but do you know that with this enlightenment thing you're talking about, you can talk to a graduate who is very shallow.
I know.
You understand? So, like, these things are personal, because you can actually have someone who haven't had all of this education, but the way they speak to you on a level, like, it is so brilliant than someone who has had all of that education. And also, like I said, it's an anomaly. The system didn't plan for this. So, in trying to see the value of education, it has become very destructive that Now it is money we are all looking for.
Yes.
It's not the intelligence we are trying to get and change society. Like that's the original idea.
For education.
But because of situations, I'm
But
trying to
then you
address
have
it.
I think
you
it
have
is-
to understand that in this case you are trying to advise a young person.
But then-
As Shika said, you lay it before them so that the person will know that you can still go to school and be doing your fraudulent activity at least.
Yeah.
But mind you,
But then,
I'm not even
Josh,
trying to justify.
Josh, hold on. Before you say, I'm sorry. But then when you were talking about, I agree with you with the education helping you enlighten, having a lot of school of thought and all that. But then I kind of disagree with you when you talk about their connections. Like you saying that you went to school to meet classmates.
Mates, yeah.
There are people that don't go to school, but the kind of connections that they have. We that we go to international, we don't get.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying, but then for me, I don't think it's a strong point for you to go and say, because the people that don't go to school, the way they are connected, because they know they roam, they know everybody. So with that point,
it's relative.
yeah, with that point, I cannot
But
disagree.
it's the same
with
way
you.
everything has its ups
Yeah.
and downs.
Yeah.
Maybe they know people because of where they have been and what they
Yes.
do. You understand?
Yes.
What if you're not going to school? You're always indoors doing these fraudulent stuff.
No, I'm disagreeing with her because she's making it sound like the school is the only
No,
way
no,
you can
I'm
meet
not
people.
saying. I'm
Like,
not saying.
that's why you went to
I
school
didn't
to
say
meet
school is the
classmates.
only way you
But
can.
then I'm saying
meet-
that you made it sound like
Okay.
school, like you're going
But
to
then
meet
going
classmates.
to
and
school-
meeting
But school is
people.
actually one of the main places that you can actually.
I'm not listening.
meet-
I'm disagreeing with her because she made it sound like if you don't go to school, you can't connect, you can't meet plenty
No,
people.
no, no.
that
You
are
can
going
meet
somewhere.
people.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Now
Because
she
that's
has-
true. Because
she
these
has-
boys who do
she has
these
corrected herself.
Yeah.
wiring of money and fraudulent stuff, if you don't know someone very influential, you can't do that on a big scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should know like somebody
Somebody
who is,
has to
who has a
recommend
lot
you.
No,
of
I'm
money.
saying I understand your point. I'm
Who
just disagreeing with the
controls a lot.
fact that you made it sound like
Okay.
you went to school to meet classmates. You don't go to school, you can't meet.
Saying is, you see, the way education has a downside. It's not just the fact that there's a downside where you can be stressed.
Yes.
The money to pay fees,
Yeah.
the one all comes back. Like Obreumu.
But
And
then
also,
we
with the trend,
restricted
also,
education
wait
to
to-
just going to
No,
school.
don't worry.
Please,
Also, not
let
just going
him-
to,
let
but
him
also
finish.
trying to be fraudulent also comes with a lot of stress. You can be arrested.
Like I said,
You can even be killed.
Yeah.
Like
You
you
can
said, you
go
can go mad.
yeah.
So choose what difficulty you want
That's what I'm saying. You put the choice
with the
before them.
disadvantages. Do you want to go to school? School is sort of like, it's in a way the ending is sort of brighter. Like at the end there.
And do you know what's hurtful?
What's it?
Like me, my mom, yeah, she has even said that so you go to school and we have paid all of these fees and then you have to come out and be like struggling for a job. Like, so what's the essence? So they're actually also trying to dip it from a perspective that this education that we are trying to give you, although it will go a long way with you, at the end of the day, we also want to see you make money out of it.
And it all boils down to how practical and how influential and how knowledge. It shouldn't be knowledge-based education. It's all knowledge-based. Our problem here is that the whole thing is
That's,
knowledge-based.
that's,
Yeah,
that's the first
But
thing
they
that
don't focus on
I
how
wanted
it
to
is.
say.
Yeah, that's
because
true. That's true.
like with our system, man,
It's a little
like
limited.
everything is like book.
Do you remember what
exams?
Because this conversation we are having will be
It
very, very
doesn't-
different when someone is having it abroad.
Yes, it doesn't
Exactly.
prepare you for the like life
Practical
after school.
well.
No.
You
Yeah.
understand? So maybe that's why a young person would think about the fact that if I look at maybe my big brother, maybe he has a degree, he has this, he has that, but look at him, like he doesn't really have anything to show for it.
But
But you see all the
So
look at the okay.
no. So the young person will think, okay, so why should I apply the same route? Like maybe in his immediate environment, like he hasn't seen that very concrete results that he would want to like emulate. And then maybe he looks outside and he sees maybe his friend's brother or something. He's riding a Corolla or like a bigger car or something, and he knows that one coast screen do maybe you understand, but I understand.
Okay.
But then,
And there's also sorry, just
Yeah,
shortly.
sure.
There's also one funny perception that I've heard a lot of young people said that the white people came to steal from us. So it's
karma.
about time.
It's karma. Yeah.
So they are very like funny but serious perceptions that people are moving with. That like it's very difficult for you to convince them because it sounds so true and gives them the reason to go ahead.
Passed on this. Is it a saying or whatever that they came for our good earlier?
Yeah, people are saying that.
You know, there's no lie. What is the lie?
Yeah.
There's no lie. That's what you're saying. It's kind of motivational.
There's no lie.
Yeah.
And some people attribute it to karma. I don't know if everybody knows what karma is. Yes.
Like now, right?
Me, I think about it. So if it is karma, right, then it means that it's going to be an unending cycle.
Exactly.
Because one day they will also come back and say they want to
They've
start.
started.
They came,
already doing
now
it.
we are
They've
doing
started.
it, and they will come again. Like,
Back
So
and
just
forth.
go for education.
So every generation.
No,
but then
well,
go for it. But how will
It's
you
like all of you are
convince-
against education.
No,
Two things.
no,
Two-
no.
Let me say two things.
We're just trying to address it very
Just two
practically.
things.
Yeah.
Still along the lines of convincing teenage boys, okay?
Just boys
Girls,
or girls
too.
too?
Yeah, teenagers. Sorry.
But with the ladies, it's a different story.
No, girls
but
actually
you-
do it.
girls, they
Ti-
fraud.
ti-
You don't know.
Serious.
Teenagers.
They're very smart. They're smarter than the boys.
Teenagers, okay.
They go for
Let's-
the
let's-
alcohol.
let's-
They are
let's-
still
let's-
wise
let's-
man.
Still convincing teenagers, okay? We can bring their minds to the fact that there are some people in society, or there are many people in society who have actually gone through education
Mentors
and then
people
have
they can look up to.
made it big.
I don't mean to, can I say something?
You can say something. Afterwards, I'll add.
Yes. With what I just said, like in line with what you're saying, I mentioned that in your immediate environment, right? If I don't mean to paint a certain sect of people black, but yet if we really like
Put our eyes on the ground.
put our eyes on the ground,
Literally.
literally, you realize that when you go into certain communities, right?
Where is you, my guy?
Fraud is very prevalent over there.
Telling you.
And then when you go to certain communities as well, like
Neighborhoods.
education is top.
The elites.
Don't leave
You
me
understand? Because I feel like in those places where fraud is not prevalent, like in the immediate environments, they've seen maybe daddy has gone to school, he's a lawyer, he's this, he's that, mommy also went here, and he's this. But when we go to the reverse, Charlie,
There's
You
nothing
understand?
to look up to.
no, all the rich people around, Charlie, they are riding big cars and things, but you don't really know what they are doing. Like, then you do your 1 and 2 research and you find, okay, he does this, so me too, you understand? Like, it's like role modeling, you understand? That's the immediate thing that you see.
Yeah.
And to add up, there are like young people, 20, 19, 17, and they are the breadwinners for their families.
Serious.
So, like, no support from the extended
He
family.
doesn't have time.
You understand?
Literally.
And even the school that he's going, because of the pain that he's going through at home, he's
Can't
like
concentrate.
He can't
he's stressed out,
concentrate.
and so the only way he has to come out is to unleash his anger, bitterness, and he's very rough, and people can't understand
Yeah.
where he's coming from. You understand? So sometimes at a point it feels very uncomfortable even being at school. So what does he do? Okada, fraud. You understand? Because this is what everyone is doing to get something. And when he comes out of school, his peers that they are playing with, like, they are getting money, they are using X marks, iPhone X, all of these things from just sitting behind and doing some stuff like that. You understand? And he's at school, trying to learn something, and already there's stress at home and things like that. So it is not so easy. And I would always say it's an anomaly because it should not have been like that. You understand? Things should have been flexible. Education in itself, like, it has to be very motivational, very appealing in the sense that, okay, the system is very friendly. So what you gain in school, you can be able to use it in society. Because, like, people have ideas. Like, not long ago, these kids who were going to write, was it BEC, and they made a car, and they took it to the center. Like, there are people with all of these ideas. But what have they done to them? They've left them. And National Science and Maths, they got their attention.
Can you imagine?
So the practicality in education, like, we are shunning it as a society. And
You see, they've picked a particular side
Sector.
and they are focusing
Yeah.
there. When it comes to education, the practicality doesn't cut across.
So in a way, you are saying before we can even begin to convince these people.
The system has to
The
work.
system-
Because that's what I was
The
saying.
system has to change.
Yeah, it has to change. That's what I was saying, that you can go to a board, and of course, some people will not find the motivation in education. But the system is working in the sense that if you gain some little education, there are volunteer jobs over there. You go and work for them. They tell you, oh, I like this and this about you. Can you come and work? They're actually begging you to come and work for them. Like, they want you to come. Although employment is not that easy, but then it is very, very, like, all over. You can get it.
Gain some skills
Aha.
that you
But over
impact.
here, even with internship, sometimes you need connection.
Yeah.
But one thing,
It's a serious issue.
What I wanted to say, I think these Yahoo things and prioritizing education all boils down to the mentality that our society and our leaders have, because it's become a norm. If you don't have a degree,
that's it.
I feel quite the second degree in here.
exactly, masters. When you're mentioning those things, people feel okay, yeah, he's at the top, she's at the top, and all that. But meanwhile, we don't see those things really working out and playing out here. Right now, it's more or less like, okay, I know the senior minister, I can do this for you, period.
Connection.
And someone who has all the qualifications.
It's not taken.
Exactly. So, in trying to convince a teenager, yeah, you can convince him and all that.
Right.
But if that teenager has very influential parents, he can choose not to do anything. He can choose, my dad
mom
was
will
the
take care of
minister.
it.
My mom would take care of it. My dad would take care of it. Why should I bother myself to even go to school at the end of the day? So, it all comes down to one thing: choice. Society.
But then,
Your society will influence the choice that you make. Because I can convince you 1,000 times. And if your society is not giving you that need for
Sense of
education,
reason.
you wouldn't want to.
like, I agree with you, fine. But then, the whole thing is fine. You're going to convince the team. Some people, there's not like the school, they don't want to go. The means, like, there's no money. And moreover, to when a person looks around, there's nobody that's going to school that, has made it.
That's why I said society.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That
I
it's
want
like
to-
you come and convince me. You've wet my appetite. Now where's the food? Okay, now we've come. I want to go to school.
I want
do
to
I go?
How
chip
do I go?
want
If
to
you
chip
really
in
want to go, you go
to
to
support what
How?
she said.
Choice.
You mentioned that
No, I'm saying that.
Choice.
Choice. Okay,
No,
I made up my mind that.
determination.
Okay, fine.
We all know determination.
You've
is towards
spoken to me.
success.
No, now you've spoken
You
to
really
me.
want to, you
No,
do.
you've spoken to me. I said, okay, I'll go to school. Now, how would I go to school?
You're going to
See,
sit on your ass and
you
then
even-
There's no means.
Even if the
No,
education
even-
is free
even-
now.
Who are selling
chill.
pure water to go to school?
No.
No,
See, they
That's
say
not
that's
giving me
no,
money
no,
to start the
no.
pure water.
if you really
No,
want to
relax,
go to school,
relax.
you
No,
will
no,
do
no.
it.
I'm talking about people that they don't have even what it is a problem. What was a problem?
Exactly. So
And then-
selling
no,
pure water.
you're going to
wouldn't-
get. How are you
okay,
going to
fine,
start
who
selling
give
the
you
pure
millions?
water?
Come on, there are people who
No.
are employing people to sell pure water.
No, it will shock you that even the people that are on the road that they're carrying the water, for them to get the water, it was connection.
Selling pure water.
You see, like selling pure water.
You don't say selling pure water.
Like,
When you
no,
stand
even-
to sell
no,
the
no,
pure water,
yes, even-
somebody
even
was
for
there
them to
before
go
you
and take
came.
the water from
It's a
people
road.
to come in.
Like, you see
No,
what I say?
they are
Our
territories.
society
No,
and their mentality.
I get what
We've
you're
all,
saying.
We've all, like, everything has now become a certain type of way. Now, even selling pure water, you need somebody's connection. You need someone to give you permission to stand somewhere.
And that's not what we are
Like,
living with. What's
Exactly.
that?
So that's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm
So
trying
it's-
to make
it's
you
become
understand that
like
the-
a norm.
the way
It's
she's
become
saying
a
that-
system that now
The
people
way
follow.
now, the way you're saying that, okay, you have to get up and go to school.
You see,
That's
the
what
people,
I'm
you are,
saying.
the
If
people
you are
that you are talking
determined.
about, is, let me make something here. He said, in an environment where you don't know people who are influential, you don't have finances, for instance. I'm sure it's in those same environments that you find these fraud boys around doing their thing. It's simple. He chose fraud. You chose school. Call the fraud boy. Tell him you are going to school. He should give you money to go to school.
How would you give me money to go?
Hey, my guy, hey, no, relax. Hey, see.
Wait,
Make
should come and
somebody
give you the money.
someone should stay up all
All
night.
all
If
night.
they do sets, if they do like some things where you know will tell you, then
Sure.
you come and tell me
No,
that.
one
Give me
client,
money.
and the
You
problem
want
is
to
that
do this, so I should give you money.
See, we are seeing it, you know,
Like-
they are doing it.
No, I
That's
come
what I'm
like.
saying. Then you come and sit on your ass and
No.
say you go.
They have been,
people-
no,
there's
listen to
nothing
what I'm
they
saying.
can
Eh.
do.
They are doing-
He
they
go
are
show you
doing-
the job. He go show you the job rather than give you the money.
You're not being in that situation.
Make us you. Yes, no, I agree. You understand? if you want something, but you can't, you don't know any means to get it in, it be all be liaison plus something. Like, open say, see me, open say, or reclaim my number. Found bang. You rather than go pon. It's microphone. No, I don't want to do this thing. Found bang is microphone. Eventually, you cook Ramaya. So it's not like go and say, I beg you, give me your. Maybe you don't want to involve yourself in that particular issue. Because where we are setting in Ghana here, sometimes you need help, maybe for school. You call your uncle somewhere. I remember there was one of our uncles, one of my brothers called him up and he said, oh, he's going to school, so he needs help. The man said two things to two different people. First person, he said the person should sell Gary. The second person, he said he should sell oranges. Two things. Like, if I want money to go to school and you're telling me this, where then will I go? Don't person by fraud there.
It means the person...
Someone, like, be guilty by association, not in doing. You know, do that. Yeah, because you can't just get up and then be an alpha.
Right now, I want to ask a question. Is it even possible to convince them?
It is.
It is.
I want to say something.
is.
I want to say something.
To some extent.
It is.
To some extent.
To some extent, it is. To some extent, it is possible to some extent.
Explain